Okay, so now we're back with our car and we want to make some more divisions across this car. So we want to create something that will look like maybe a bumper section here, then probably the ones where we have the light section, and we also want to create divisions to make the windscreen and the doors. So we're going to use both our multi-cut tool and we're going to use our edge loop tool to create those divisions. So okay, so starting with the edge loop, I'm going to come to mesh tools. So we want to create a section here that will surpass for where our headlamps will be. You've noticed the edge is not going across, and that's because we have beveled on this point, so it has created some more edges that are not part of the loop. So let's say somewhere around here we want the headlamps to begin, then we want to create one here for it to end somewhere around here. Then we want to create this point for the bumper. Okay, then the bumper will have the last edge to follow along with it. Okay, now I want to show you another tool, and that is the slide tool. And you can see I can adjust the size of this bumper even though I've created it. And still under the mesh tools, we have the slide edge. If I click on this, I can use my middle mouse button and slide my edge to make the edges go closer or further away from the mouse. So I just want to bring it a little bit closer. So anytime you have edges and you want to slide them, you can either use the slide edge tool or you just select the edges and use your normal translate tool, but the slide edge is usually more professional to use, so something to keep in mind. So that's for that. Then I want to make a loop cut right here, so I come to my mesh tools, it says edge loop, and I make a loop cut. Let's say it's going around. I think I'll take it from a different angle here. So just rotate it here. Okay, so I want to see somewhere around here would be good. That would be a good point for where the door will look or will be and the divisions will be. Then I can make a loop around here that should match up with that edge so that I could create the back bumper as well. Then I could now maybe eyeball this and come to my four-way view. That was the best way to model, is to come to your four-way view so you see everything you're doing. So I want to kind of eyeball this guy somewhere this way for the light and this way and for the top of the light. Yeah, so the lights are kind of matching where they're supposed to be. Yeah, so it doesn't really matter if you have lines going across. It's something we can work up. Then I want to create a loop here for the side of the door, because the door will definitely not start from that point. So somewhere here, here will be fine. Okay, then like I said, I could come in here, select this edges. Okay, go around. I don't need that edge. This one. Okay, and go around, select The same, hold down shift. I'm selecting the edges, this point here. Okay, so I could use the slide edge tool again to slide these edges forward. Okay, I want to have this edge slide or slid forward. Okay, yeah, so we have that kind of shape here. I'm just using both my perspective and side view to see what I'm looking at. Right, so that's looking good. It's not looking like a car, but it will get there. Okay, so now I want to make a single cut for the headlamps. So I'll use the multi-cut tool and I'll do that. So I could do that on the front view. I could make the cuts here and so make a cut here. Okay, so remember you can hold down shift and snap or just move it using your eyeball. Okay, so we have a cut there. And I can do the same thing here, make a cut here. So make a cut there. Once I'm okay with that, hit enter. Then I can come and do the same thing here, make a cut here, and make another cut here. Okay, then I can move it till I'm comfortable with where it is. Then I hit enter if I know it's straight enough. Yeah, sometimes I just need to eyeball these things. Okay, so we have that. I still don't think it's very mixed. So for this one, I'll use the move tool. I'll just slide it a little bit more to the edge here. Good. All right, so I think I have that now. So that will form kind of the headlamps. Like I said, this is just a low poly car. Then for the windshield, now this one I need to use the face mode for getting this point. So select this face, I use the extrude tool, Ctrl E, and I want to scale inward first of all. So we have that division. Probably bring it down so that we have more space on top here. Okay, all right. Then I do Ctrl E again, and this time I push in a little bit, just a little bit, not so much. Okay, so now we have the windscreen there. Okay, so come back to edge mode, then I can actually bevel out all these edges. So let's go into the perspective view, and I want to select just these edges. 2, 3, 4. I'm holding down shift to make sure I get all the edges. 5 and 6, then Ctrl B. Okay, so you see what I'm trying to achieve here. I'm trying to create that bevel edge. So let's go to attribute detail. I want to make it kind of more rounded. Yep. So I have 0.4 actually will be good. Well, no, 0.5 is still fine. All right, so that's good for that. That line in the middle is not really important, so we could just ignore it there. Okay, then we'll do the same thing for this section. Go to face mode, and select this point, and we want to come in here and select this point as well. So we want to do the same, Ctrl E. We want to scale it inward a little bit, so we have that shape, and just like we have for a car, it's more on this point, kind of like this. I'm just moving around, so just trying to something good. All right, then I do a Control E again, and this time I push it in just a little bit. Right there. Perfect. Okay, so come back to edge mode. We want to select those edges, so you can double click on it and to go around. Since they were all beveled, hold down Shift, double click, and it goes around. Then Control B. So remember 0.5 segments 4. Alright, so now we have our windscreen and we have our side mirrors for our, I have no idea what kind of car this will be, but you can see that it's beginning to take shape. So we've used the loops, we've used the multi-cuts to create more subsections for us to be able to achieve what we have right now. Okay, so when you've done this, you could come to your file, increment and save. Don't save it to override what you had before. So increment and save. Why we use increment and save is if you want to step back in your process and do some adjustments, you could always have another version of that project. So if I increment and save, notice the name of my car is lowpolycar.ma, that is .meyer ASCII file. So if I go increment and save, you'll see it will now be called lowpolycar.0001.ma. So I now have two versions of my car. So we'll be talking about other aspects of the training. We'll visit all this. So let's see in the next video.